a new season, and we are underway.
Really dominating fashion here today is going to win.
4 for the final time.
Win number 1 on the season, only just barely.
He is going to win here at the Nazareth Speedway.
Wins the Emerson Electric 100K.
Gonna be Igor Barretto's gonna eke it out.
Cup Series champion is Shane Lake in the number 15.
Welcome to the NOFSRL.
After an exciting race last week at the Lady in Black, the chase for the 2021 Mission Barbecue Cup Series title travels west to the other side of the Palmetto State to the Greenville-Spartanburg area for race number 2 of the 10-race championship fight. Good afternoon, lads. Stop number 29 of the 2021 NOFSRL Mission Barbecue Cup Series brings us to the Greenville-Spartanburg Speedway in beautiful Greenville, South Carolina, as we are just minutes away from dropping the green flag for the 2021 edition of the S1ap on Location 500. From high by the track in the press booth, my name is Trey Wright, as we welcome you to the Big GS with live MBCS coverage on NASCAR Nerd 34. This is one of 2 super speedways in the chase this season, the other being the Ricky Raceway, which we'll be racing at in mid-October. We come off of a fast-paced chase opener at the Darlington Raceway last week, which saw Nathan Smith take advantage of a late race caution involving his teammate Zachary Fitzwater and end up scoring his 2nd win of the season and his 4th of his Mission Barbecue Cup Series career. We come to a place that he should be even faster. They do not run the stricter plates here at the Greenville-Spartanburg Speedway, so while they might not be going as fast as they would at, say, Coca-Cola, 205 to 210 plus miles per hour is nothing to sneeze at. 50 laps are on the docket for today's race, but before we dive right into the chase standings, I will address in the solemn elephant in the room. As you saw before the video began, today marks the 20th anniversary of the September 11th terrorist attacks in New York, Washington, D.C., and Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Nearly 3,000 innocent Americans lost their lives 2 decades ago today, and pretty much everybody knows where they were that day. And these teams, although many people in this series were not alive to see the horrifying images of the planes each hitting their targets except for Flight 93, teams are still showing their support for everybody that was lost in that horrible day. The American Motorsports cars, they both carry the American flag on their hoods, along with Todd Beamer's famous "Let's Roll" quote from when he led the passenger revolt on United Flight 93 that ultimately crashed the plane in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, and saved it from hitting its unspecified target. Truly the first heroes of the American heroes of the 21st century. The Polar Star Motorsports cars each carry special paint schemes commemorating the victims of the World Trade Centers, the Pentagon, and Flight 93. Every driver from New York is sponsored in some way, shape, or form by the FDNY and the NYPD. And you can see it, ladies and gentlemen. The stands are packed with fans waving the American flag, waving the colors of our proud nation. As we still show to this day, we are united as one, and nothing can break that. Laps 9 through 11 will be silent as we honor all of those victims who died in that horrible day 20 years ago. And just like Trenton, this is just going to be a solemn affair here, ladies and gentlemen, especially on the laps 9 through 11. With the seriousness addressed, let's take a look at the chase grid coming out of Darlington, which is on the right-hand side of your screen, Logan Alexander takes over the chase lead with his runner-up finish in the Waffle House Rebel 500 last week. Tristan Allen falls to second in the chase, 20 points behind Logan Alexander. Braden Perez and Trey Smith are tied for third, 85 back from Alexander. And rounding out the top 5 is Aiden McCrow, 105 points behind. In fact, McCrow, Tyler Reynolds, and Nelson Reeves are all tied for 5th place. So that is an interesting fight to watch there. Brendan Yodel, Madison Tall, and Mitchell Collins round out the top 10 in the chase, and the 2 drivers that had mechanical failures late in the going of the Waffle House Rebel 500, John Andrews and Daniel Georgia, are the bottom 2, Georgia being a full race's worth of points, 210 points behind Logan Alexander. John Andrews does start on the pole position for this afternoon's race. Alongside him is the 97 Nathan Stapleton. So we'll have to see what John Andrews can do. He does have 5 guaranteed points in the points bank due to winning the pole. So we'll see what Andrews is able to do from the pole position. But this is a super speedway race. This is going to be a cycle race like we saw last year. So it's going to be interesting on how these guys race this afternoon. It is still early going in the chase. We are only 10% of the way through the chase. So everybody still has their chance to win the championship. Even Daniel Georgi, who is a full race behind Logan Alexander. So 34 car is behind the 8 ball already. But we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. As Linkin Park once sang, let's move one step closer to the edge, and let's break out the starting command for the 2021 Slap on Location 500 at the Greenville-Spartanburg Speedway. It's that time of the broadcast again, ladies and gentlemen.
Drivers, start your engine!
John Andrews and Nathan Stapleton start on the front row like we mentioned. The rest of the starting lineup is on the left-hand side of your screen. Row 2, the 1 of Zachary Davis starts alongside the 17 of Logan Williams. Logan Williams' Logan Sport teammate Daniel Bouchard starts alongside the 14 of Keegan Thompson in row number 3. Row 4, the highest chase driver to qualify on the grid, Braden Perez starts alongside the 48 of Juan Rodriguez. And in row number 5, we have the 99 of Madison Tall, the other chase driver, up inside the top 10. So alongside her is the 9 of Zachary Fitzwater, and the first car on the grid to have a September 11th commemorative paint scheme. All 40 cars have rolled off the starting grid, and they have, as John Andrews leads them down the back straightaway. Your KFC race report is at the bottom left-hand side of your screen. It is going to be a 50-lap race around this 2-mile oval with its 32 degrees of banking in the corners. Pit window should be between 51 and 55 laps. You should not have to come down the pit lane for tires or for fuel, unless we do have a green-white checkered finish, so then that will make things interesting. And your previous winner here at the Greenville-Spartanburg Speedway was Derek Hamill in the 91 with the last lap pass over Madison Tall in last year's chase. He starts 16th on the grid this afternoon. As the pace car makes a hard left-hand turn down the pit lane, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this second race of the chase going. Andrews and Stapleton lead them through the race's restart zone. Green flag is in the air, and ladies and gentlemen, let's roll. Andrews will come around to lead lap number 1 with Keegan Thompson on his inside. And we said this is going to be a cycle race as Thompson will move to the inside of John Andrews for the top position. They're side by side through this huge 32 degrees of banking in the corners. And Thompson will come up high, block the 46 of John Andrews. But I think Juan Rodriguez might lead this lap this time by as they rocket around this 2-mile super speedway. We have our first instance of 3 wide in the back. A couple of Pacific Racing guys going side by side. You do not want to go 3 and even 4 wide through the turn on the exit of turn 4. That is a recipe for disaster here at Greenville-Spartanburg. Rodriguez did in fact lead that lap. Tall's to Rodriguez is inside. These guys are going to be trading that top position like they are trading stocks on the floor of Wall Street. And here comes Landon Smith Jr. in a car commemorating the World Trade Center victims right on that inside lane, hugging the yellow line on the inside. In tow, he brings the 7 of Nelson Reeves, so it is a bit of a Chevrolet train on the inside. Tall will come around and lead lap number 3. Smith Jr. will move to the inside. Now Tall will be stuck in the middle. She's going to get caught in that sucker hole there. They're 3 wide for the race lead. Tall is still hanging tough as the entire field rockets down the back straightaway. All 40 cars within 2 seconds of one another. Thompson gets a bit squirrely out of 4. And new race leader Landon Smith Jr. in the World Trade Center 88 machine. Cuts off Rodriguez up top, and he will lead lap number 4. As we close in on the silent laps, the field begins to get a little bit more strung out. Reeves will come around to try and lead his first lap of the afternoon. And Reeves will block the high side once again, but Smith Jr. sells him a dummy, and they're 3 wide for 3rd. Bit of a pinballing there as the 07 of Bouchard. He will get caught in the sucker hole. Now the 3 wide. Middle lane is beginning to form. Smith Jr., he's an excellent super speedway racer, holds them as, Ryan Benjamin got squirrely off of 4. He keeps his composure for now as we are working lap number 6 of 50. Now Ryan Durrani, who missed out on the chase by a mere 11 points, goes to the front. He's got the 42 of Aiden McCrow right in front of him. And contrary to what the valence, the color of the valences on the front of that 38 suggests, like we just mentioned, said that Durrani missed out on the chase, and now Colton Yo and Daniel Bouchard get turned around. Landis Virginia on the inside wall, and the yellow flag is out. We got a huge stack up on the front. Nathan Smith is involved. Eric Monaco in a FDNY fire truck livery. And the yellow flag is out here at the Greenville-Spartanburg Speedway on lap number 7. Some cars racing it back. That is Landon Smith Jr. with a ton of damage on the 88 machine. And Durrani will lead them back, and I'm not sure what everybody is trying to do, but well, there goes the 3 laps of silence. There is Owen Miles in an FDN special NYPD livery, and he's got a lot of damage to the 05 machine. You see, he comes to his pit stall and will try and make some repairs to that NYPD Chevrolet Monte Carlo. See if anybody else elects to come down the pit lane. Doesn't appear that anybody is. I was not caught up in that accident. A lot of guys were caught up in that. I don't think anybody will be knocked out. I think Juan Rodriguez has the most damage. I don't believe anybody is knocked out. Maybe Ethan Lewis, but Ryan Durrani leads the field in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series American flag number 38 machine. Let's take a look and see what happened to bring out the first caution of the afternoon here at the Greenville-Spartanburg Speedway in the slap-on location 500. So there were several different little accidents that made up this pretty big accident, and you're going to see it right there. Colton Yo is the first car to go completely around. I thought that was going to be a lot bigger than it was. John Andrews and Nelson Reeves get knocked up into the inside wall. Davis gets turned broadside to the field. And Andrews right in front of his Macklinham Motorsports owner, Derek Hamill. Yellow flag flies. Bouchard is able to get through. Logan Alexander, the chase leader, gets turned around in the middle of everybody. Ethan Lewis in the 79. Thompson in the 14. Thankfully, this was not as bad as it could have been. 19 of Tyler Reynolds in it as well. There's Eric Monaco in the FDNY car. Cameron Garlington in it as well. Nathan Smith, and I believe that was just about everybody. Thankfully, that was not as big as it could have been, and I'm not sure if anybody's going to get knocked out in this accident, thankfully. But we'll take a look at this in real time, then get you back to the racing action here at the Greenville-Spartanburg Speedway in the slap on location 500. We look in real time, a lot of things going wrong at the same time, and I noticed Zachary Davis actually got himself rewrited around, so I think if Davis doesn't make himself straight on the front straightaway, that accident is a lot bigger than it was. But a couple of special commemorative cars were torn up in that, especially that beautiful 75 FDNY car that Eric Monaco is driving. That was pretty much it. Nobody came down the pit lane that was not involved in the accident. Ryan Durrani led them back to the caution flag. We'll see what he can do on the restart. He's got his American Motorsports teammate a couple of cars behind him. Let's see what those guys can do on the restart here as we clean up caution number 1 with a slap on location 500 at the Greenville-Spartanburg Speedway. We are back here at the Greenville-Spartanburg Speedway wrapping up caution number 1. Landon Smith Jr. was the only car knocked out from that accident. We have 39 cars remaining on the racetrack, and we will have lap 11 to be silent, so as the field crosses the start-finish line, we will do 1 lap in silence to remember all those that lost their lives on this horrible day 20 years ago. Durrani will lead his first lap under green of the afternoon as the bottom lane gets formed up, being led by the 07 of Daniel Bouchard, and he's got a full head of steam with that bottom lane. They're going to leave Georgia and McCrow out to dry as Ryan Benjamin cuts off the top lane, and now the bottom splits up just a bit. Here comes Bouchard. A couple of rookies currently lead the field here at the Greenville-Spartanburg Speedway. There's Trey Smith, another one of those guys. Now, like his brother Landon Smith Jr., both of them are from Buffalo, New York, so they're representing the World Trade Centers on their hood of those respective machines. Unfortunately, Landon Smith Jr. was knocked out of the race. But Bouchard side by side with a 38 of Durrani as they rocket through turn 2 onto the back straightaway, and Logan Alexander probably not going to be the chase leader for coming out of this. Trey Smith is a man on a mission up on the front. And Mitchell Collins, first time we are seeing him up here this afternoon. So still side by side for the race lead, coming around to lap number 14 of 50 here at Greenville-Spartanburg. Bouchard continues to fight Durrani, and now he's going to move up another lane. This looked like he moved up another lane, and now he does move to the outside. This opens the door for Trey Smith to be the dominant car on the inside lane, but that outside has more cars in the draft, as now Smith will get put into the middle. Almost runs up into Durrani. That could have been big entering turn 3. Will Parrish will take second away. To come off the corner, Caleb Rose makes some evasive maneuvers to avoid contact being made. And Bouchard will lead his first lap of the afternoon. They're 3 wide, and now Caleb Rose on the banking. Loses a bit of momentum. He is straddling the banking. And he will lose some ground there in the 32. I'm not sure if there's I'm not sure if there's an issue on that tide ride. Looked like he was going to peak down low, but he has caused a little bit of a split between these top guys. And now Will Parrish in the O2, Best Water Technology, Dodge Intrepid will lead his first lap of the afternoon. He is hauling Durrani as Durrani now ditches him, keeps to the inside. It is Dodge, Ford, Toyota, Ford, Chevrolet, Camry, Toyota, and Pontiac. Pretty much every single manufacturer being represented up inside the top 10. Logan Alexander really falling off of the draft, and he is going to be a lap car problem. We just have to see when these guys hit him as they work on lap number 17 of 50. Durrani back out front in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series Ford. Mission Barbecue Ford, I should say. Trey Smith back to second. McCrow is third. 2 out of the top 3 guys in the chase. There's Georgia in battling for 5th at the moment. Durrani, I'd say, has been the car to beat in the first 18 laps. Moves to the outside. Trey Smith will try and take the advantage. Not sure what he's going to be able to do. He's going to move the inside. No, it looked like he was going to move to the outside, but keeps on hugged to that inside lane. Durrani now protects the top, and now the pack is beginning to get reformed. But they are quickly closing on that 20 of Logan Alexander as Durrani rockets around turn number 4. They are straightaway behind the 20, and Durrani currently going at 211. Alexander is 30 mile an hour slower than this pack, so they are going to be catching that 20 car in a heartbeat. Slowly catching their way. They're 3 wide in the back there between Logan Williams, Jordan Lopez, and Cameron Garlington. Now the top lane has broken up just a bit. Trey Smith is still the second car in line, right behind Ryan Durrani, and I think this is where the positions are going to remain become a little bit stagnant. As for second, Trey Smith moves up to the high side, opens the door for Aiden McCrow to take second away. Benjamin third, Riley Sampson, 4th car on the inside. And now they're probably going to be catching Logan Alexander within the next lap or so. He has lost the draft, and he is 30 mile an hour slower than everybody else, and hopefully they can catch him in a pretty favorable spot. Odds are they aren't. They're probably going to catch him entering turn number 2. Now McCrow trying to get past the 38 of Durrani before they hit Logan Alexander. And they will meet Logan Alexander in the entrance of turn 1. And he will hold up the high side. Everybody trying to make evasive maneuvers around Alexander's for the race lead. McCrow has drafting help from Caleb Rose. Durrani has drafting help from Riley Sampson. And they are tandem drafting going through the corners. But everybody gets around Logan Alexander. No, he is still holding up the rest of this pack. The inside lane will get by Trey Smith, Will Parrish, and pretty much everybody else is not going to be happy, and Aiden McCrow has gotten around the 38 of Ryan Durrani, new race leader. McCrow looking for win number 3 of 2021. As we approach the halfway point through the slap on location, 500 here at Greenville-Spartanburg. Durrani wants that lead back, but no, McCrow with an aggressive block. Durrani will not like that. He will remember that as the top 5 cars, top 6 are now beginning to form back up as Alexander. They go 3 wide, and now Trey Smith, Will Parrish, Logan Williams spin on the exit of turn 4. Dano Georgi is around as well, and the yellow flag is back out. And Trey Smith's bad mood has gotten even worse with Logan Alexander. And it doesn't help that these guys are in the chase put together. They'll race it back to the line. It looks like Durrani will get the lead back going under the caution. As we'll be past the halfway point. Now Benjamin slingshots to the inside. Drag race to the line is won by Ryan Durrani. The yellow flag is out for the second time this afternoon at Greenville-Spartanburg. And Keegan Thompson has blown up in the 14. Something amiss. Not sure what the deal is there. The yellow flag is out. Everybody will sort back into their respective positions. I believe it might have just been an accident. I don't see a whole lot of damage on that Viagra Monte Carlo, but actually, yeah, there is some driver's side damage. Significant driver's side damage to the 14 machine. We'll see what the diagnosis is as he goes into the garage area. He was started up front. Started in the 6th position, I want to say. I don't know where he started. But yep, go to the garage area. We'll see what the diagnosis is. It was a valve issue on the 14 car that takes him out of the running. Thompson looking at the sheet. He started 5th on the grid and will finish 39th. and nobody's going to come down the pit lane. So I think the fact that they are running these caution flags there, it's going to help them save fuel. Irregardless, Ryan Durrani leaves the field once again. Let's take a look and see what happened and bring out the second caution of the afternoon here at the Greenville-Spartanburg Speedway in the slap on location 500. So there were 3 wide off the corner. Tristan Allen, who was second in the points, comes up into Will Parrish. Parrish up into Trey Smith. And around goes Trey Smith. Actually, not fully around, but Will Parrish moves back up, overcorrects it into Dana Georgi. So Will Parrish not too friendly with the chase drivers. Georgi spins Logan Williams in the Hershey's Pontiac. Cameron Garlington, driver's side in the concrete inside wall. Thompson is able to get by, so it was going to be a mechanical failure irregardless. 2 cars going around. Dana Georgi is not going to be happy with Will Parrish, but it's a simple rookie mistake, and I mean, just overcorrecting it in general is just a typical thing to do for these guys. Cars are so loose on the super speedways, and that is the end result right there. I don't believe anybody is going to be knocked out via that accident. I think the only guy that's going to be knocked out is Keegan Thompson, the 14, which I think we passed him. There's Thompson. His valve didn't break just yet, but that is going to break soon. But that was pretty much that. Let's take a look at this accident in real time, then get you back to the action here as we are past the halfway point through chase race number 2 here at the Greenville-Spartanburg Speedway in the slap on location 500. Simple case of 3 wide off the corner. Allen into Parrish. Parrish pinballs overcorrected down on the inside. And about 3 chase drivers were directly involved in that. Dana Georgi getting the worst of it, I guess. Spun around a couple of times, which is never fun for a race car driver. Here's Owen Miles once again in the 05. That was pretty much it. Keegan Thompson was knocked out with a valve issue. But Ryan Durrani led them back to the caution flag. Nobody came down the pit lane, so let's see what these guys can do on the restart here as we clean up caution number 2 of the slap on location 500. We are back here at the Greenville-Spartanburg Speedway, wrapping up caution number 2 of the slap on location 500. Nobody was knocked out directly from that accident, but like we said, Keegan Thompson blew a valve, so he will finish alongside Landon Smith Jr. in the garage area. 38 cars remain in the race. 37 of them are on the lead lap. Logan Alexander, the chase leader, is a lone car off of the lead lap. Your top 5 going back through the race's restart zone are Ryan Durrani, Ryan Benjamin, Aiden McCrow, Daisy Johnson, and Riley Sampson. We are past the halfway mark through the slap on location 500 here at the Greenville-Spartanburg Speedway. And a good jump for both Durrani and Benjamin. Benjamin knows how to get it done on the super speedways. His lone win in the MBCS comes at the in last year's Smokey's Best Damn Garage Daytona 500. McCrow, the highest running chase driver, as Logan Alexander holds up the pack once again. If I'm him, I'm gonna try and stay on the high lane and just let everybody by and try not to anger anybody else. It has been a pretty rough day for Logan Alexander. Started relatively up front as for the race leader for second was 42 of Aiden McCrow, but could not get there in time. Benjamin is right on the back bumper of Durrani as they're 3 wide in the back. This could be another accident in the making. McCrow trying to get that inside, a second lane on the inside formed. Johnson will be hung out to dry. Let's make sure they get through turn 4 nice and safely. They're a bit tight, but they're A-okay. Back to the front. Sampson in the 24 underneath McCrow. That is for third. Durrani still leads with Benjamin in second. Now McCrow files back to 4th. Now for second, here comes Sampson. He is still looking for career win number 1 and almost got into the quarter panel of Ryan Benjamin. As I come around to 20 laps to go, this time by it is still anybody's race. Now for the race lead, Benjamin to the inside of Durrani. Does anybody go down to help him? Rose, I would imagine Rose would, and he does to help his TRD teammate. Dustin Davis is up here for the first time this afternoon as well. Zachary Davis is here as well. The highest running September 11th car is Nathan Smith in the 25, who is one of those cars involved in the first accident of the afternoon in the Flight 93 car. Benjamin will come around and lead his first lap of the afternoon. Goes high to block the top side. Opens the door for Rose. Benjamin will become, I believe, the 4th or 5th different leader. Maybe like a 6th or 7th different leader. But I believe Logan Alexander has come out the other end. No, he is still blocking the Yo Racing cars and a couple of guys that still have damage. Back to the front, the pack is beginning to reform, and do not see any chase drivers up in this lead pack. Chase drivers have not had a good start to the chase, as Caleb Rose will go high, blocks the top. Dustin Davis will go down and try and take the race lead away, and now they're single file in the second pack, and they are being led by Braden Perez in the 92 machine, the highest ranked chaser in the field. Currently in the 13th position, and they are closing in fast. And just as they say that, they break off for a second. Monaco, Collins, 99 of Tall. And here comes Brendan Yodel. First time we have seen him all day long as well. And looked like they were going to be gaining in, but not as much for the race lead. Johnson, no, Davis edges her out at the line. Interval was about, if I can get the mouse up, my mouse's batteries are dying, 8/1000ths of a second. If I can get the mouse down. Like I said, my mouse's batteries are dying, I should say. Zachary Davis, the inside of his brother Dustin Davis, has an aggressive block from Daisy Johnson, comes down low, almost turned herself around. And these guys are just going to keep getting more and more aggressive as the race progresses. Johnson to the lead for the first time this afternoon, if I'm not mistaken. 3 wide for the race lead. Cole Sampson, Zachary Davis, and Daisy Johnson, 3 abreast. Now the 3 wide for second. Now the 3 wide for third. Sampson with an aggressive move up top. We could see a wreck coming from blocks. And now the 3 wide for fourth on back. Davis caught in the sucker hole. He's back there with his brother. Let's see if these guys can maybe work together as Bouchard goes out to the inside. Actually, McCrow was up in this pack all along. Did not even see him, so McCrow is the highest running chaser, in fact. And now the second pack has caught up to these guys, and they are reforming with everybody. With 15 laps to go, it is still anybody's race. We could see another yellow. We could see a late race yellow, in fact. And that will throw everything into chaos. These guys will be running low on fuel. Bouchard will come around to lead another lap of the day. I believe Ryan Durrani has led the most laps as Riley Sampson pulls out underneath the 07. And let's see if anybody goes with him. Charlie Davenport, first time we are seeing the 66 up here this afternoon. He goes down with Sampson at the inside and leaves the 07 out to dry. Blocks are just getting more and more aggressive as we close in on the final 10 laps. Braden Perez, now the highest running chaser in the field. Now he's up to third. Sampson will come around to lead his first lap of the afternoon, if I'm not mistaken. And now Zachary Davis goes around into Dustin Davis right in front of the other pack. Zachary Davis broadside to the field, and they're going to check up a bit. And they're going to ARCA brake. Jordan Lopez ARCA braked into Nelson Reeves. And a lot of damage on the 34 of Dano, Georgia, and it's probably going to be another DNF. Tyler Reynolds with a lot of front-end damage as well, and it has been a horrible start to the chase for Dano, Georgia. Trey Smith with front-end damage too. John Andrews got rear-ended by somebody. They will race. No, they are not going to race it back. Riley Sampson, the 24, led them back to the stripe. Crisis was somehow averted. Not sure what Nathan Smith is doing there. I say some of these guys are going to come down the pit lane. We'll see if anybody does. Noah Clifton, the 16, has teleported back. Is somebody out of fuel? Not sure what everybody's doing, but I think we had even more ARCA brakes in the back. Nathan Stapleton and Josh Williamson with ARCA brakes. 48 of Juan Rodriguez with ARCA brakes. And that is a danger of somebody in the back getting turned around right in front of everybody. And If you're Logan Alexander, you're thankful. Those are free positions for you. Nobody has come down the pit lane, so it'll be interesting to see if these guys can make it all the way. I believe with the amount of caution laps they are running, they should. But Riley Sampson led them back to the stripe. It wasn't really that much of a race back. It was about 100 feet from when the caution flew. Let's take a look and see what happened to bring out the third caution of the afternoon here at the Greenville-Spartanburg Speedway to give us a less than 10 lap dash to the finish here in the second race of the chase here at Greenville-Spartanburg. The slap on location 500. So turn 4 has been Calamity Corner, and once again Zachary Davis getting turned on the exit of 4. Gets hooked by Bouchard, and then he comes back up the racetrack into his brother Dustin. Bouchard once again overcorrects us. So we've been seeing these rookies overcorrect their race cars. He's going to take Daisy Johnson down to the inside. Davis could not save it this time. Madison Tull is involved as well. Turns her car sideways. I think she's going to keep it off the inside wall. No, she does not. Hard hit for the 99. And the Cinevis number 1 Chevrolet spins around like a top. And this is where things start to get hairy just a bit. You can see Nelson Reeves, get ARCA braked by the 81. Dano Georgi and Tyler Reynolds ARCA brake into there. And then as more and more of the field comes in, the more they begin to ARCA brake. And this is where most of the casualties are going to come in. I believe that's it for this group. But then the second group of headlined by Stapleton, Williamson, Clifton, and a couple of other guys are going to come in and absolutely ram ranch these guys into the rear bumper as the rest of the guys that were involved are coming back up the racetrack. Thankfully, they turn off in time. We're going to watch Nathan Stapleton. He's going to run right into the back of Ethan Lewis. Nothing he can do here. Nothing Lewis can do. And then it's pretty much an accordion effect from there. Juan Rodriguez. I think Rodriguez lost his brake because he rear ends the 16 of Clifton. Clifton ends up stalling on the racetrack, so that's why he was out. He's going to be out of the race. I believe that was pretty much it. Clifton turned right in front of the Yo Racing cars, is split by Parrish and Yo, respectively. I'd gauge about 4 to 5 cars are going to be knocked out of this one. And quite a few of them were chase drivers. It's not been a good start for the chase for these guys, especially Dano Georgi. The second race in a row, he's going to get knocked out and finish in the bottom 30. But we'll take a look at this replay in real time, then get you back to the racing action. Here's we have a less than 10 lap dash to the finish of the second chase race of 2021 here at the Greenville-Spartanburg Speedway. Falling with Zachary Davis in real time, gets turned by the 07 machine, and around they go in front of the rest of the pack. And thankfully, it shouldn't affect the outcome of this race all too much. Just Nathan Stapleton and everybody else ends up ARCA braking into Ethan Lewis. And that was pretty much an NR 2003 online incident, and Jordan Lopez gives a love tap to his fellow rookie at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to points. I do believe that should be about it, and oh boy howdy, this is going to set up quite a finish to the end. Riley Sampson led them back to the caution flag. Nobody came down the pit lane, so we'll have to see if anybody is low on fuel and can anybody make it to the end of this crazy race here at the Greenville-Spartanburg Speedway. Let's get you back to the racing action here in the slap on location 500. It is going to be a good finish here at Greenville-Spartanburg. We're back here at the Greenville-Spartanburg Speedway, wrapping up the third caution of the slap on location 500. Take a look and see the cars that were knocked out in that accident. Josh Williamson, Tyler Reynolds, Juan Rodriguez, Jordan Lopez, Nathan Stapleton, and Dano Georgi all knocked out from that accident. We have 32 cars remaining on the racetrack. 30 of them are on the lead lap. We have 9 laps left in the slap on location 500. Your top 5 going back to the Reese's Restart Zone are Riley Sampson, Charlie Davenport, Braden Perez, Ryan Durrani, and Mitchell Collins. Green flag back out in the air, and there is the first move. Perez using the 38 of Ryan Durrani to his advantage. We're going to hang out Davenport to dry, and we shouldn't have any lap cars to deal with. So this should be a pretty decent race to the end. Now Durrani moves down to the inside, crosses over with Braden Perez. Takes second away from Perez. It'll take these guys a lap or so to get a reset. On the outside, Riley Sampson in the catbird seat, I would say, to get his first career win, but he has got 8 laps to do so. 8 laps to fend off a dominant Ryan Durrani, looking for win number 2 of 2021. Perez in the 92 will get underneath Durrani. Yeah, Riley Sampson is a 1 car in here as Braden Perez almost takes the rear end off the 38. Sampson is the only one in this top pack that is never won in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series. The only one, him and the 07 of Bouchard are the only ones that have never won in the MBCS. Right now, not sure who's holding up these guys. I think it may have been Bouchard in the 07 with damage from an earlier accident. The tires might be going away from these guys, but right now, Riley Sampson coming around the 6 laps to go in the slap on location 500. Does anybody have anything left? Perez says yes, moves to the inside. Does anybody go with him? Durrani stays up high with Sampson, but that inside lane is doing so well. 5.5 laps remaining. A couple of Toyota guys down to the inside. Allen and Benjamin trying to get back up, and it might be these top 6 guys in contention for this win. Probably it will be. And the only guy that has not won anything in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series that's up here, Riley Sampson, who leads right now. 5 laps to go from Greenville-Spartanburg. Actually, Allen and Benjamin are closing in ever so slightly, but it might be too little too late. Sampson hanging tough on the outside. They are 2 by 2 by 2 wide down the back. It's still anybody's game as Collins crosses over with the 66 of Davenport. Sampson remains out front. I think Sampson might be the car to beat. 4 laps to go. Now the pack in the back is beginning to get a bit uniform. We'll see how far off they are. No, they lost time. They're 3 seconds back. It's going to be between these top 6 cars. It might be between these top 3 cars as Davenport stalls out the 78 and the 42. Perez moves down to the inside. First car on the inside line of this trio. It is 2 trios, 1st through 3rd, and then 4th through 6th. Perez with a huge run, slingshotting around the 24. Does he have him cleared? I don't believe so. At the line with 3 to go. No, he does not. Sampson utilizing the outside. Perez will have to try again and see if he gets any drafting help. He's got a chased competitor, Mitchell Collins, who does not want him to do well. Collins wants to get up there, and he's going to move to the inside of Perez. They're going to be 3 wide, 4 second for a moment. Collins thinks better of it, and this is all happening behind the 24 of Riley Sampson, looking for win number 1 in his Mission Barbecue Cup Series career. Around turn 4, 2 laps to go. If the caution flag comes out now, that will be the race. Durrani, he pushes up the 92 of Perez. Think it's just, if anybody can get around the 24 of Riley Sampson, they're gonna catch up to Dustin Davis. How does Davis fit in with all of this? Coming around, a lap and a quarter to go. Durrani right on the back bumper of the Australian of Riley Sampson. He's going to try to move to the inside. Not there just yet. Now he's going to move to the inside. Use Dustin Davis as a pick. White flag in the air. One more time around the Greenville-Spartanburg Speedway. Can Riley Sampson do it? He moves up a higher lane. They're right in line for the top position. Can Durrani try and win it? Can Perez try and win it? Perez down low. They become a little less uniform. I think that might be it. Off the final corner. Finally, and I mean finally, Riley Sampson is going to go to body armor victory lane. Sampson wins at Greenville-Spartanburg. He did it. The veteran finally did it. Riley Sampson, after almost 2 full seasons of competition, heartbreak, and frustration, is a winner in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series. Durrani, oh so close, 0.2 of a second off. Braden Perez, the highest finishing chaser, and will most likely take over the chase lead. Actually, no, Tristan Allen finished 7th, so I think Allen will hold the chase lead at the moment. It was a good day for Mitchell Collins, who was in 10th in the chase. But what a day. What a bloody day for the 24 of Riley Sampson. Sampson is your official winner here at Greenville-Spartanburg. Take a look at your official standings here at the slap-on location 500. Riley Sampson gets it done here at Greenville-Spartanburg. Durrani comes oh so close to win number 2 on the season. Perez, the highest finishing chase driver. Mitchell Collins finishes 4th. Rounding out your top 5 is Charlie Davenport. Another good run for the Fort Lauderdale native. 6th is Aiden McCrow. 7th is Tristan Allen. So fairly good day for a couple of chase drivers. 8th is Caleb Rose. 9th is Cole Sampson. So dual top 10s for the Sampson brothers. And rounding out your top 10 is Ryan Benjamin. Take a look at the rest of your results. We had 29 cars finish on the lead lap and 32 cars finish the race in total. We look at some of the names on the bottom. Dano Georgi, Tyler Reynolds, and those are the only 2 chase drivers to fail to finish the race. John Andrews finishes 26th, so he does get 5 bonus points, and he did lead a lap if I'm not mistaken. So not a horrible day for John Andrews, but it definitely could have been better. But Riley Sampson gets it done. Unfortunately, a 911 car could not win, but hey, I think we're all happy. It's a feel-good story. Riley Sampson finally getting it done. In fact, now that I think of it, the Sampson brothers are undefeated on September 11th. That is an interesting McNugget to have right there. You remember Cole Sampson won the Star Ledger Patriot Day 500 on 9/11 last year. In fact, I believe that video went up on September 11th. Let me take a look at that real quick. I believe it did. It was the 9/11 race, so I know that much. But yeah, that is an interesting McNugget if that is the case, and that did go up on September 11th, 2020. So the Sampson brothers are undefeated on September 11th. So how about that? That is an interesting thought right there. But yeah, that is going to do it here from Greenville-Spartanburg. And if you thought this race was crazy, oh Lord, we head to Thunder Valley next week. Next week is the Randy the Plumber Bristol Night Race at the one, the only, the world's fastest half mile, the Bristol Motor Speedway next week on September 18th at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. That is getting pushed back to 7 o'clock. It's going to be a 100-lap race around that little bull ring in Bristol, Tennessee. And then after that, we go road racing for 2 weeks in a row at Willow Springs and the Denver Road Course, the only road courses in the Chase. And then the Denver Oval, the Texas World Speedway, the Rickey Raceway, the Nazareth Speedway, and the New Jersey Motor Speedway to wrap up the 2021 season for the Mission Barbecue Cup Series and to crown a champion for the NOFSRL Mission Barbecue Cup Series 2021 season. We're going to have, we are saving all the exciting tracks for last. Bristow, Willow Springs, Denver Road Course. It's going to be more of a crapshoot since the new track, but Denver Road Course, Denver, Texas World, Rickey, Nazareth, and New Jersey. All coming up within the next 8 weeks. But this was an exciting race here at Greenville-Spartanburg, and that is going to wrap it up. Thank you all so much for tuning in to the slap-on location here at the Greenville-Spartanburg Speedway. Congratulations once again to Riley Sampson on being your official winner of the slap-on location 500. that is all I have got. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, ladies and gentlemen. Here are your points after the second chase race, after 29 races for the rest of the field, and we will see y'all at Thunder Valley next week at the track.